So where are we today? Well, today I am 170 pounds and I don't feel too good for it. Okay, 4 weeks ago, somebody got in contact with me and said they had a holiday coming up in 10 weeks' time, and because of lockdown, they've not done any exercise for a long time. And what can I offer them? Any advice so they can get themselves in better shape for their holiday, for getting down on the beach? And that was 4 weeks ago, and their holiday was in 10 weeks. So 6 weeks from now, they're going on holiday. So we had a bit of a chat, and I asked 5 questions which any personal trainer should ask anybody who is seeking advice. And if you go to a gym and they do not ask you these 5 questions or similar, go to another gym. Okay. What I needed to know was where they were, as in what was their state of health and the current lifestyle, because that has a big impact on what they're going to do from now on to achieve their aim. So honestly, where are you now? What is your level of health? And if we break health down, that breaks down into fitness and body management, weight management, sorry. So where are they now? What is their things like their resting heart rate, blood pressure, and all that kind of stuff gives us a general good idea of where they are. What lifestyle they lead, what kind of foods they eat, what their weight is, do they do any exercise, all that kind of stuff. The next thing we need to know is, where do they want to be? What is their goal? What is their aim? What do they want to achieve? And for anyone, most guys go, I just want a bigger chest, bigger shoulders and bigger arms. Yeah, and most women go, I want to lose a bit of weight off my thighs, blah, 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 blah. That's rubbish, because if you just have an open-ended goal, you're never, ever, ever going to achieve it. There's never any light at the end of that tunnel. You'll just start exercising and that will fade away, or you'll start some form of dedicated eating regime and that will just fade, because you've got nothing to chase, nothing to achieve, no countdown. So you need a definitive goal. What do you want to achieve? Do you want to add some lean muscle mass? Do you want to lose a little bit of excess body fat? Do you want to improve your strength? Do you want to improve your cardiovascular capability? Have you been in an operation or have been injured and you want to regain something you didn't have, some flexibility maybe? Whatever it is, you need to have a goal. Okay, next question. How long? How long do we have? How long do we need to structure a program for? And again, it can't be open-ended, because that never, ever, ever works. Nobody can work at 100% for an unknown period of time. Okay, we've all seen it on Christmas Day. Someone gets a new pair of trainers and a new pair of running shorts, and they're out running at 5 o'clock that morning. How long does that carry on for? How many times in February do you see running machines up for sale? Okay, or they just end up being used as a clothes dryer. You've got to have a realistic time frame. What equipment do you have access to, or areas? Do you live in an apartment? Is there anywhere you can go running? Do you have your own garage? Do you have any of your own equipment? Do you have a gym membership? What is the gym membership you have? What is the gym like that you go to? Okay, is it a fashion orientated gym where it's just full of bros and chicks taking selfies of each other that they then massively enhance using various programs and post it to their social medias? Okay, or is it a spit and sawdust gym where you can get there at 6 o'clock in the morning and just crack on with some proper, honest equipment? Do you have a park nearby? Do you have a swimming pool nearby that you can use? And finally, the question that must be asked: are there any constraints? Are there any restrictions on what we can do? Are there any physical restrictions? Do you have a long-term injury or old injuries? Do you have restrictions of movement? Do you have a back injury? Blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. What is your lifestyle like? Do you go out early in the morning and come back at late at night? How long do you have for lunch? Do you do a physically demanding job? Do you do a physically undemanding job? As in, it's physically undemanding, not an undemanding job. What is your attitude like? How many times in the past have you started at something like this and just given up very quickly? What are your likes and dislikes? Lots of people dislike noisy gyms with the loud music and people in lycra and bros, you know, using 4 bits of equipment at the same time. Some people dislike running for whatever reason. Some people dislike weight training for whatever reason. If you don't enjoy a program, there is a greater chance you'll give up on it. So you need to enjoy it. Yes, it needs to be functional and it needs to achieve the aim and it needs to fit in with your lifestyle, but you must like it. And that's a genuine like or dislike. Okay, not things which are hard. Not, I dislike doing squats because they're a bit hard. Okay, if you dislike them because you've got really long legs, i.e. long legs, long levers, not ideally suited for squats, that's great, because we can always find a different kind of exercise to work the body in the same way as something you dislike. So after we run through this, their lifestyle is they're just an average, ordinary person. They've trained in the past. They've generally stuck to exactly the same type of training. They go to the gym 3 times a week. They do exactly the same exercises with the same amount of effort, and they get the same results, i.e. nothing great. Their lifestyle, they'll have a drink on a weekend, they'll eat some bad food on a weekend, they'll try and be healthy during the week. But because they've had no specific goal, they've just meandered through, they found themselves carrying a bit too much or more body weight than they would like, unusable body weight. So they've not got as much muscle mass as they would like, and they've got a bit too much excess fluid and body fat than they would like. And therefore that's had an impact on their health, because your health is your body management and your fitness combined is really how healthy you are. Okay, so where do they want to be? Where are they now? Okay, weight. They weigh 170 pounds, which is 77 kilos. What they would like to be is they would like to be about 155 to 160 pounds, which is about 70 kilos. Now, they told me this 4 weeks ago. And 4 weeks ago, I weighed 70 kilos, 155 pounds. So what I said to them was, right, the way we're going to do this, because we're going to do it remotely. I'm not in the UK and they are. We're going to do this remotely. I'm going to get to 170 pounds. I'm going to put on, in 4 weeks, 7 kilos. For that 4 weeks, I told them not to eat anything they weren't already eating. Eat exactly the same foods that they were. The only difference was I gave them a training program where they would go and train their total body 3 times a week. Okay, with basic compound movements: squat, deadlift, a press, a pull-up, and a core exercise. Okay, they would do those for about 45 minutes 3 times a week. So what that's doing is their body's not being shocked from a change of diet. They're still eating the same stuff that they were eating in the same volumes, but by doing compound movements, we're getting their body used to training. Okay, used to training differently. Doing the two at the same time's not a great idea. When somebody says, right, I'm going to get fit, so I'm going to go start training, at the same time as they drastically change their diet, those two things together, it's like someone saying, I'm going to give up smoking and drinking. It's never going to work. Give up one and then give up the other. Okay? So for the last 4 weeks, whilst I've been doing my best to put on 7 kilograms by eating a really, really bad diet, even though I've still maintained my training, they have changed the training program, but maintained their diet. So where are we today? Well, today I am 170 pounds and I don't feel too good for it. And they are at 170 pounds. I have maintained my training for the last 4 weeks and they have stuck to a sensible, all complete body training program for the last 4 weeks. So we have 6 weeks to go. We have 6 weeks for them to go from 170 to 155 pound, lose 7 kilos, and I have 6 weeks to lose 7 kilos. Okay, is that achievable? Of course it is. But they're going to go on holiday, so they want to look fit. They want to look athletic. To lose 7 kilos, I could probably lose 7 kilos in the next 24 hours. Not a major drama. But I wouldn't look good at the end of it, okay? What we want to do is we want to maintain our levels of musculature, so we want to retain muscle. We want to get rid of excess fluid. We want to drop some body fat if we can, but body fat doesn't come off easy, but just by getting rid of excess fluid, we can make ourselves look completely different. And we want to get ourselves fitter. And by doing those, by getting ourselves fitter, that gives self-confidence. And if you've got self-confidence, you'll feel better about yourself. And the better you feel about yourself, the more likely you are to stick to a training regime. Okay, so the diet, they've got the diet, and it's going to be basic because it's only 6 weeks. And it's much easier to stick to a diet for 6 weeks than if I'd have gone the whole 10 weeks with them. 6 weeks is achievable because after this first 4 weeks, they've already seen changes in their body. Just by sticking to a basic total body training program, they have already seen things change. They've already seen their flexibility increase, their strength increase. They've got a bit of swagger. Their posture has increased, and that's probably down to the deadlifts and the squats. Okay, big exercises that have an impact on the whole of your body. If you only ever done 2 things ever, that'll be squats and deadlifts when you do them, people do them properly. So they're already feeling good about themselves. So they're going to start this 6 weeks already feeling really positive. The diet, they're saying, yeah, I need to change my diet because I need to fuel my body properly, because the last 4 weeks has shown me that I need to put good stuff into my body, and that's what they're going to do. And because we're going to be consuming less calories, although we're going to be consuming a lot of food, it's food which is not calorie dense, so we can eat a lot of it, and it's food that's going to fill us up, and it's food that's going to put good fuel in our bodies, because the next 6 weeks of training is not like the last 4 weeks of training. It's going to be more complex, because we're going to be doing different kinds of training, and it's going to change. It's going to change during the week and each week. It's going to be 2 weeks before we do the same kind of training again. So essentially, you'll train, or we will train each body part twice a week, but each of those training sessions will be different, and then each week will be a different training program. So essentially, we've got a week A, program 1 and program 2, and a week B, program 1 and program 2. Week 1 and week 2, it's completely different style of training, and in each week the exercises we do will be different. So as an example, pushing exercises today would have been an incline bench press and a seated fly. When we train push again on Thursday, it will be a decline press and a kneeling fly, as an example. When it comes to week 2, week B, we will train those exercises, but we will do it completely differently, in that we will use a different style of training. Whereas today, say for instance, it would have been sets of 12. Next week, we will do SST training, which basically means we're going to really try and stimulate our endocrine system. So we're going to do really slow positive movements, really slow negative movements. We're going to do isometric holds, and we're going to do stretches during that. But I'll cover that in a different video. So any constraints that they have, no, they want to get this done. So physically, they're 10 years younger than me, but they've got no major issues. The odd cranky shoulder and cranky knee as people get when they're 40, 45. They're 45, so their testosterone levels will be way less than they would have been when they're in their 20s. There's no way around that. Unless you are on steroids or incredibly genetically gifted, your testosterone levels of a 40-year-old are probably not dissimilar to an 18-year-old girl, all right? They're low, but we can work around that. Their lifestyle and their attitude won't get in the way of the training, and their likes and dislikes, well, they've already began to like the training, because what they've seen happen from the first 4 weeks of just basic compound movements, giving them confidence. So 6 weeks to go. We're both at 170 pounds. We're both anatomically similar heights. I need to lose 7 kilograms because I hate being 170 pounds. He needs to lose 7 kilograms because he's going on holiday. We've both got 6 weeks to do it in. We've both got our training program, which is the same, and we've both got our diet, which is the same. So hopefully good stuff is to come.